What did it get me?
So let's talk about the job that never paid off.
Why did I do it?
I am currently getting ready for a casting right now, and I figured, why not tell the story? The year was 2019. Which is crazy how actually long ago that was now. It really does not feel very long ago. Before the pandemic, my boyfriend was coming to see me, and we weren't going to see each other for at least 3 months after that. And this is the beginning of our relationship. Like, he hadn't officially asked me to be his girlfriend yet, but he did on that trip that he was coming for in February 2020. It was 2020. He comes, it's my birthday. He asked me to be his girlfriend. I'm on a high. So before he comes, maybe a few weeks before he comes, my agent has a job opportunity for me. Job opportunity. He said, hey, I know that you have your vacation booked off, but there's a really good opportunity for you to work with this brand called And I thought, well, that's a pretty big brand. I do know them, and at that point I was pretty fresh in my career, so I didn't want to say no to a big opportunity or a big brand, because, you know, you kind of feel like you have to say yes to everything at first, and then you learn that there's some room for yourself and your own personal plans. And this is one of those things that taught me that lesson, to kind of put myself first, listen to my gut, because for some reason when I heard about that job opportunity, I cried. Like, I cried, not of happy tears. I cried because I'm like, oh no. I felt like I was choosing between my work and my love, which I kind of was. But I'm like, this is just one time that we're seeing each other. It's not the end of the world. But it felt like wrong. I remember, I just remember crying to my mom and her being like, you know what, the opportunity is gonna be worth it. Right. So I said yes to the job, which means I have to cut my vacation a little bit shorter. Basically, we only had 3 days together, and this cut off the 3rd day. And I was able to schedule the latest bus that I could. So I had till 9 p.m. with him on the last day. And not knowing that this would be the last time we saw each other for an entire year. So like I said, this is why it was such a big lesson for me to, you know, you don't have to say yes to every opportunity. There's plenty more opportunities out there, but I was living in scarcity. So, you know, I spent my own money on the bus to Montreal. The rate was okay, it was around $2,000, but I didn't include travel and didn't include accommodations. So because I'm thinking like, oh, I'm lucky to be working for this brand, right? I booked my travel, which I'm not against booking my travel for the right rate and the right brand. But so I spent my money on the travel, and I think they were going to reimburse me, but I'm not 100% sure. So I go, and I literally, when I get into Montreal, it's like 4 a.m, and I have no place to stay, so I end up just staying at La Banquise, which is like a famous poutine spot. It was one of the only spots that I knew was open 24 hours. So I just went there, and I had a sandwich, and I stayed there for like 4 hours. Or like 2-3 hours. And then I got to set, and then I think the call time was 7, and I was wondering why nobody was here after 15 minutes. And they said, oh, nobody told you? Call time's actually 7:30 now. Oh, cool, okay. Another thing that was like pretty unprofessional. And then when we got to work, I loved the makeup, I loved the outfits, everything was popping, and we did it in this really cool, it was almost like a YMCA, one of those like fitness recreation centers. And so we did that, we did the shoot, it went great, I'm super excited, and I figured like, you know what, maybe I made the right decision coming here. And then at the end, they made a weird comment saying, you're our first body positive model. And I was like, do you know what body positive means? Like, did you just mean plus size? Because that's okay to say. Plus size is okay to say. But I was a little smaller, so I was between the cusp of like straight size and plus size. So maybe that's why she struggled with, but I'm body positive, of course, but I'm like, does everybody else who modeled for you hate themselves, or like, what are we getting at? I went and did the job. I felt very pleased with myself. I went home the next day on a bus, and 3 months later, I'm in bliss. No, I'm not. It's the pandemic, and I can't work. All of a sudden, I'm not able to work anymore. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's a good thing that I have that money coming in. It's been about 3 months. That should be coming in any day now, right? Wrong. Oh, so wrong. They waited the 3-month period, and if you guys don't know, as models, you get paid every 30 to 90 days usually. Sometimes it comes sooner and sometimes it comes later. This is about the time that they should have paid me. And so they waited until then to let me know that I wouldn't be being paid. I'm sure that, now looking back, I'm sure that was the end of their quarter or whatever. And they just decided to, bloop, sorry, you won't get to see the photos because every contract since we have filed for bankruptcy has been terminated. My agent asked me if I wanted to hop on a phone call with him just so he could explain what's going on and like next steps. And like, next steps, like, can I sue them? Because I mean, I still did my job. You know, I shouldn't have had to work for free and also pay all my accommodations and travel when they were the whole reason I was there. So basically my agent said I have to be careful about what I say about this company because they could always sue me for defamation. But I'm like, I thought they had no money. He also predicted that they just pulled out their money to go bankrupt and they would be putting their money back in to do a whole rebrand. And guys, that's exactly what they did. Very cute, very fun, very fresh. And so I ended up not being their first body positive model. And you know, I used to be really bitter about it. I think I still am just a little bitter about it because I know at this point they could have paid me what they owed me, because my agent said that they would, if I ever work with them again, they would just give me double my rate from the last time. So I met a model that worked on a campaign with them, and that was basically the rate. And they chose not to go with me. That's fine. That's fine. And I think it could have been because I spoke out about it previously on TikTok, and you know, I didn't say too much, but I didn't say anything for a long time because I had hopes of working with the brand again, but at this point I'm pretty sure they blackballed me from their modeling list, and I think it's fine. I honestly, from what I took from it, was these brands they'll use you and toss you away. So I don't need to revolve my whole life around them the same way they won't revolve their whole business and life around me. So it really taught me and my boyfriend an important lesson. If it's a job that's gonna pay for the inconveniences that it's causing me, then maybe. And I'm talking about like a big job. But if it's causing me more stress to book the job than to not book the job, then I won't book the job. And I can let that go knowing that maybe that wasn't for me. So that's my little story about knowing your worth. Listen to your gut, because like I said at the beginning, I knew something was up. I knew and I never reacted that way to a job, even if it's interfering with my plans. And you know what's for you will not miss you. Now I'm gonna get this casting. Know your worth, babes. Bye.